Have you ever wondered why, despite being chosen by God, finances seem to be a constant struggle? If you felt that despite your efforts and financial difficulties keep following you, you're not alone. Many find themselves on the same path, facing financial struggles that seem endless. But what if I told you that these difficulties are not a coincidence? What if, instead of being an obstacle, they are an essential part of your spiritual journey? In today's video, we're going to uncover the powerful truth behind why the chosen ones often face financial hardships. Trust me, this revelation will change the way you see your struggles. Stay until the end, because what you're about to hear could transform not only your mindset, but your entire path forward. We will also pray a powerful prayer exclusively for the chosen ones, so make sure to stick around until the end to receive the blessings of this prayer. The first step for the chosen ones to transform their financial struggles is to accept the truth about scarcity. Understanding that these challenges are not a punishment, but a lesson opens the door to profound change. Only by facing this reality can one begin to build a life of purpose and abundance. Awakening to the reality of scarcity. Financial difficulties seem to follow the chosen ones wherever they go, no matter how hard they work or how skilled they are. This feeling can be frustrating, and at times it may lead to despair. However, what the chosen ones often fail to understand is that these challenges are not a coincidence. In fact, they are a vital part of their spiritual journey. Scarcity manifests in many forms in your life. It is that deep sense of emptiness or insufficiency that arises when you feel you don't have what you need to be happy. It's a state that affects not only material aspects, but also the emotional and spiritual parts of life. When you are in scarcity, your focus shifts to what is missing, creating a cycle of thoughts centered around insufficiency. However, recognizing it is the first step toward transformation, because from that awareness, you can choose to focus on the gratitude and abundance already present in your life. It may be the lack of money to pay bills, the absence of time for the things that truly matter, or even an internal feeling of emptiness, where you feel that something is missing despite having everything society says you need to be happy. However, scarcity also has a spiritual dimension. It's not just about what we lack materially, but also about what we lack in terms of spiritual connection. It's important to understand that scarcity is not a punishment nor a personal failure. In reality, it's a turning point. It's a moment when we are invited to question the true meaning of abundance and wealth. Scarcity can be seen as an opportunity to awaken to a new consciousness of life, where material possessions stop being the measure of success and happiness. Spiritual awakening doesn't happen overnight. It's often a long and challenging process. When the chosen ones face scarcity, they're not simply dealing with an economic crisis. They are being invited into a profound journey of self-discovery. This spiritual awakening involves recognizing scarcity as a sign, a message that calls for us to reevaluate our relationship with the material world. In our daily lives, we are constantly bombarded with messages telling us that we need more to be happier. Society teaches us to accumulate wealth, to have more possessions, to be more successful in material terms. But when we realize that even with all of that, something is still missing, that's when the true awakening begins. At this point, the chosen ones start to question what truly matters in life. Is money the measure of our success? Are material possessions really what defines our happiness? Scarcity invites us to let go of those limiting beliefs and leads us to a deeper understanding of what it means to be truly abundant. One of the hardest concepts to accept in the midst of scarcity is the idea that this situation is not a mistake. In fact, it can be seen as a divine test designed to help us grow. Divine tests are not punishments, they are lessons that push us to a higher level of awareness and understanding. In life, the trials of scarcity often arise at times when we need them most. But instead of seeing them as insurmountable obstacles, the chosen ones should view them as divine opportunities to grow in wisdom and strength. These tests show them that they don't need to cling to the material world in order to succeed or be happy. In fact, scarcity can be the perfect tool to strip away what we don't need and focus on what truly matters. Moreover, in these challenging moments, true spiritual abundance is revealed. Instead of seeking wealth in the outside world, we are invited to find it within ourselves, discovering that our connection to the divine, to our soul, and to our higher purpose is the true source of wealth. Faith is the anchor that keeps the chosen ones grounded during times of scarcity. When there are no external certainties, when resources seem limited and the future feels uncertain, it is faith that provides calm and direction. Faith is not just about believing in something we cannot see, it's also about trusting that we are being guided towards something better, something that we may not fully understand yet. Through faith, the chosen ones learn to trust in the divine plan. They know that even though they may not see the path clearly right now, everything is part of a greater plan. Faith becomes the light that guides their steps, even when darkness surrounds them. It's the certainty that the difficulties are temporary and that the divine purpose of their lives does not fade because of temporary setbacks. When the chosen ones face scarcity, the greatest challenge is to shift their mindset. Instead of seeing scarcity as a failure, they must learn to see it as an opportunity to transform their lives into something deeper and more meaningful. True abundance is not found in the material, it is found in the spiritual. And when we learn to live with less and give more, we draw closer to what truly matters. This transformation begins with a change in perspective. Every economic challenge becomes an opportunity to reflect on what truly matters: our faith, our inner peace, our ability to love, and our gratitude for what we already have. These are the treasures that strengthen us and prepare us for true abundance. The chosen ones also begin to see how scarcity allows them to develop a deeper connection with the divine. By freeing themselves from the constant need to accumulate, they find a peace that does not depend on external circumstances. True spiritual abundance is found in the ability to be grateful for what we have, to live with humility, and to give without expecting anything in return. Often, the chosen ones feel that they are being called to something greater than themselves. Scarcity is not just a personal issue, it is also a reminder of their mission in life. The financial struggle can be seen as preparation for the divine purpose they have in this world. By facing the trials of scarcity, they realize that they are being shaped to fulfill a greater calling, one that goes beyond the accumulation of material wealth. Every time they face difficulties, the chosen ones come closer to understanding that their true mission is to bring light and hope to others. Scarcity teaches them to value what truly matters and to share what they have with others. This is a much greater purpose than money. It is about serving, helping, and guiding others toward their own divine connection. Humility is one of the most powerful lessons the chosen ones learn through scarcity. It reminds us that we are not owners of anything, that everything we have is borrowed. When we face scarcity, we are being taught to let go of attachment to the material and to live with gratitude for what we have. This humility connects us with others, breaking down the barriers that separate people based on their possessions or status. Through scarcity, the chosen ones learn that they don't need more to be happy. By letting go of the need to accumulate, they discover that true wealth lies in inner peace, love, and gratitude. The spiritual connection beyond money has always been a central aspect of life. From an early age, society teaches you that money is essential for comfort, security, and achieving your dreams. However, as you grow spiritually, you may begin to realize that true wealth isn't found in money. Beyond the material, there is a deeper connection that leads you to what truly matters. Spiritual connection cannot be purchased, nor does it depend on the size of your bank account. The real purpose of life, from a spiritual viewpoint, goes far beyond financial or material accomplishments. It is about finding inner peace, love, wisdom, and forging a deeper relationship with the divine and your true essence. This spiritual connection is what truly nourishes you, giving you meaning and purpose, and making you feel complete, no matter how empty the material world may seem. Money is merely a tool, not the ultimate goal. In today's world, money has become the center of many lives, but when it comes to spiritual connection, it's important to recognize that money is just a means, not the end. While money is necessary for fulfilling your basic needs and enjoying some comforts, it can never measure your worth or determine your happiness. True abundance comes from who you are, the peace within, and the relationships you cultivate with others and the world. When you adopt a spiritual perspective, money becomes something that flows from one person to another, not something that defines your existence. It's a tool that helps make life easier, but does not give life meaning or lead to true fulfillment. The question to ask yourself is, how do you use money in your life? Do you spend it only to satisfy superficial desires? Or do you use it to contribute to the greater good? Do you accumulate it out of fear of scarcity, or do you see it as an energy that should flow? This reflection is key to seeing money not as a goal, but as a tool in service of a higher purpose. The true spiritual connection beyond money lies in recognizing that the greatest wealth cannot be bought. Love, inner peace, serenity, and wisdom are priceless. These are the riches that fill you up, that complete you, and that connect you with the divine. As you seek inner peace, you stop depending on external circumstances to find happiness. You no longer need money to drive your life, because you've learned to find satisfaction in the simple and deep things of life. You no longer feel bound by the need to acquire more, because you realize that what you truly need is already within you. Love, for example, cannot be purchased. Throughout life, you may acquire many material possessions, but the only thing that truly accompanies you to the end is love. The love you give and the love you receive. This love is the deepest connection you can experience, far more valuable than anything material. Inner peace, on the other hand, gives you the calm that money cannot provide. It allows you to navigate life's challenges with tranquility and acceptance, without letting external difficulties overwhelm you. One of the most powerful ways spirituality connects you beyond money is through wisdom. Spiritual wisdom helps you understand that the value of life lies not in what you own, but in who you are. This wisdom teaches you that true abundance comes from personal growth, constant learning, and expanding your consciousness. As you seek this kind of knowledge, you realize that material wealth is merely a reflection of what's happening inside you. By opening your mind and heart, you begin to see beyond the superficial. You start to understand that the purpose of your life is far greater than the material goals you pursue. Spirituality encourages you to see the world through the eyes of love, to act with compassion, and to live with gratitude, free from the constant need to acquire more. Spiritual wisdom also helps you recognize that money doesn't define you. No matter how much money you have, if you aren't connected to your true essence, if you haven't cultivated peace and love in your heart, you'll feel that something is missing and that life lacks meaning. Wisdom teaches you to look beyond appearances and see what truly matters, your relationship with the divine, with yourself, and with others. Detachment is another key to spiritual connection beyond money. Through detachment, you learn not to cling to material possessions, understanding that everything you have is temporary and transient. Nothing in this world is permanent, and everything you possess can disappear at any moment. This understanding helps you live with gratitude, appreciating what you have while it lasts, but without relying on it to feel complete. Detachment allows you to live more freely, without the constraints that money can impose. Living in gratitude and detachment helps you stay more in tune with your soul, without letting financial worries steal your peace. This doesn't mean rejecting money, but rather learning to see it as something that comes and goes, something that doesn't define your happiness or self-worth. True wealth is found in detachment, in the present moment, and in the love you give and receive. The spiritual connection beyond money invites you to shift your perspective on life and on what truly matters. It teaches you to value the intangible, love, peace, wisdom, and gratitude. It reminds you that while money is useful, it isn't the source of your happiness or fulfillment. True abundance is found in a deep connection with yourself, with others, and with the divine. By living according to these spiritual principles, you can experience a much richer and more fulfilling life, where money is simply a tool to help you navigate the world, but not what defines your existence. By focusing on what truly matters, you'll find a deeper and lasting abundance, an abundance that can't be measured in numbers, but in moments of peace, love, and inner growth. There is a higher purpose to your divine trials. Throughout their lives, all individuals face moments of difficulty. It is part of the human cycle. Some of these moments can be so intense that they make them question their purpose and plunge them into confusion. But in reality, those challenges, those tough moments, are not mere coincidences. If they look deeper, they discover that divine tests are woven with a greater purpose, one that transcends simple adversity. These tests are not punishments, nor is life playing against them. They are opportunities to grow, to evolve spiritually. Though in the midst of the struggle, they often don't understand why it is happening. The higher purpose of these divine tests is to guide them toward a life more connected to their divine essence, fuller and more aware of their true nature. When they begin to understand that difficulties are not something they must avoid at all costs, but rather moments of learning, a door opens to a new way of seeing life. Divine tests invite them to dive deeper into their being, to discover capacities they didn't know they had, and to draw closer to that higher purpose that guides them throughout life's journey. This awakening of consciousness may be the key to transforming pain into wisdom, frustration into peace, and uncertainty into clarity. Divine tests are, in fact, the greatest opportunity they have for spiritual growth. In their day-to-day lives, they often find themselves caught up in routine, focused on material concerns, and sometimes disconnected from their deepest essence. It is during those difficult moments that they are called to look beyond the immediate, to question their relationship with the world and with themselves. Divine tests don't come as easy or comfortable moments. They come as situations that challenge them, that push them out of their comfort zone and force them to reevaluate everything they thought they knew. Every challenge they encounter in life is meant to bring them closer to their true nature. It could be the loss of something important, a broken relationship, a personal crisis, or professional frustration. Whatever it may be, each divine test is designed to help them understand a deeper truth about who they truly are. In the storm, they are called to reflect, and often it is in the midst of chaos that they find the answers to existential questions they've been asking themselves for years. It is in this process of transformation that they discover that life is not just about what they achieve or what they gain. Divine tests teach them that their true purpose is not in material things, but in their spiritual evolution. Each time they go through a challenge, they learn to see beyond the surface and uncover a truth that makes them freer and more aware. And through every test, they grow closer to understanding that they are part of a whole, connected to something much greater than their individual experience. One of the most valuable lessons that divine tests teach them is the lesson of faith. Faith is not merely blind belief, but rather a deep trust that even when things don't go the way they want or understand, everything is happening for a reason. When they face difficulties, it is easy to lose hope and question the meaning of what is happening. However, faith invites them to trust that they are being guided by something greater than themselves, something that knows what they need and what is best for their spiritual growth. On the other hand, resilience is another crucial lesson that arises from divine tests. Resilience is the ability to adapt and keep moving forward despite adversity. It is that inner strength that allows them to rise up again and again, even when circumstances seem unbearable. Divine tests, though difficult, teach them to be stronger, to keep going no matter how hard the situation seems. It is in those moments of trial that they discover an inner strength they didn't know they had. They teach them not to give up, to persevere, and to remain firm in their faith. Moreover, resilience teaches them to handle their emotions in a healthier way. In facing tough times, they can be tempted to fall into despair, fear, or anger. But divine tests challenge them not to let these negative feelings dominate them. They show them that, even amidst pain, they can find peace. By learning to be resilient, they also learn to stay calm and clear in times of chaos, which allows them to make wiser decisions and live with greater balance. Every divine test is deeply connected to their inner transformation. The external life, such as material situations or the circumstances around them, often reflects what is happening within them. Difficulties are not just obstacles in their path. They are an invitation to look within their heart and mind. They force them to confront their beliefs, their fears, and their inner limitations. As they face their divine tests, they will begin to see that external struggles are merely the mirror of their internal struggles. If they are struggling with insecurity, it may manifest as a financial crisis. If they have a fear of rejection, it may show up as relationship difficulties. Inner transformation happens when they recognize that external tests are simply a manifestation of what they need to heal within themselves. It is in this process of self-exploration that they can begin to free themselves from old wounds, limiting beliefs, and negative patterns. The inner work they do during divine tests allows them to change their perspective on life. They begin to see that they are not victims of circumstances, but rather learners on a spiritual journey that is leading them to a greater understanding of themselves. Every challenge, therefore, is an opportunity to heal, to release what no longer serves them, and to embrace a new way of living, more aligned with their divine purpose. The higher purpose of divine tests can be one of the most difficult things to understand when they are going through hardship. When they are immersed in pain, frustration, or confusion, it is easy to lose sight of the greater purpose of what they are experiencing. However, as they look back, with time and reflection, they begin to see how every test has taught them something invaluable. Perhaps the relationship that ended taught them about self-love, or that loss taught them the importance of gratitude for what they have. Divine tests connect them with a deeper truth about life. Often, when they face a challenge, they think that the universe is punishing them, but in reality, it is guiding them. The higher purpose behind the tests is to help them discover who they truly are, to strengthen their character, to learn to be more compassionate with others and with themselves, and to develop a greater connection with the divine. Everything they experience, both the good and the bad, is meant to make them grow. Divine tests, though they may seem difficult and even painful at the moment, are part of a larger plan for their spiritual growth. They teach them lessons of faith, resilience, and inner transformation that are fundamental to their journey toward a higher purpose. Every test they face, if they approach it with an open mind and a willing heart, has the potential to transform them and guide them toward a fuller, more conscious life. When they look at their divine tests from a broader perspective, they can see that, though they are challenging, they are also a blessing in disguise. They offer them the opportunity to learn, to heal, to grow, and above all, to align themselves more deeply with their true nature and their divine purpose. Now that we've talked about the challenges they face, it's time to focus on something much deeper: spiritual abundance. It's not about what they have, but who they are. At this point in the journey, they'll discover how they can open themselves to that abundance that truly matters, the one that transforms their being and connects them with the divine. If this message resonated with them and they feel ready to dive deeper into their spiritual journey, they are invited to subscribe. By joining this community, they'll have access to more content that will guide, inspire, and support them at every step of their personal growth. They can be part of this journey toward a fuller, more connected life. Now, let's understand what it means to be chosen and to truly be willing to walk the paths of true abundance, the path to spiritual abundance. In today's society, abundance is commonly associated with material wealth, tangible success, or possessions. However, there is a much deeper and more meaningful kind of abundance: spiritual abundance. This abundance is not measured in things, but in experiences, connections, and inner peace. It is not something that is bought or accumulated, but rather something cultivated from within, reflecting in all aspects of your life. The path to spiritual abundance, then, is not a path toward more external things, but toward a fuller, more conscious, and meaningful life. Spiritual abundance is connected to your deepest being and your connection with the divine, with life itself, and with the greater purpose that each one of you has in this world. It is a path that is built step by step, requiring patience, introspection, and above all, a genuine desire to live in a more authentic and purpose-aligned way. Spiritual abundance does not depend on what you get, but on what you learn to be. And that learning is what truly transforms your life. Inner peace is the first pillar on the path to spiritual abundance. You live in a world full of noise, stress, and distractions, which makes it difficult to find that deep peace that connects you with your essence. However, inner peace is fundamental to experiencing an abundant life. When you are at peace with yourself, you can experience the world from a different perspective, one that is clearer and calmer. This peace does not depend on external circumstances, but on how you choose to respond to them. To achieve inner peace, it is important to learn to let go of what you cannot control: the opinions of others, social expectations, and worries about the future. Often you cling to these things, which prevents you from living fully in the present. The path to spiritual abundance begins with the acceptance that not everything is within your control, and that true peace comes from letting go, from allowing things to flow without the need to control them. Practicing meditation, reflection, or simply spending time in nature can be a great start to cultivating inner peace. As you learn to be more present and less caught up in your worries, you begin to feel a deep calm that guides you toward a stronger connection with your spiritual self. This peace is what opens the door to spiritual abundance, as it allows you to align with life in a more authentic way. Gratitude is one of the most powerful practices to unlock spiritual abundance in your life. Gratitude connects you to the present moment and allows you to recognize what you already have, instead of focusing on what you lack. Many times, you fall into the trap of thinking you need more to be happy or complete, but true abundance lies in recognizing and appreciating what is already present in your life. Practicing gratitude helps you shift your perspective and focus on the positive. This mindset changes the way you experience everyday situations. While difficulties do not disappear, your attitude toward them transforms. Instead of seeing them as obstacles, you begin to see them as opportunities for growth. Gratitude, therefore, not only helps you appreciate what you have, but it also opens you to new possibilities as it tunes you to a positive frequency. Moreover, gratitude connects you with the divine. By giving thanks for the blessings you already have, you are recognizing that everything you have received is a divine gift, an expression of the love and generosity of the universe. This connection fills you with humility and allows you to experience a sense of abundance that transcends the material. By practicing gratitude, you open the doors to a life filled with more blessings, as you cultivate a vibration of abundance and appreciation. Generosity is another fundamental pillar on the path to spiritual abundance. Often, you think of abundance only in terms of what you receive, but in reality, it is also about what you give. When you give selflessly, you not only help others but also help yourself. Generosity generates positive energy that creates a cycle of abundance. By giving, you are opening your heart and your life to new opportunities and connections. This energy flows back to you, connecting you with the divine flow of life. It is important to understand that generosity is not an isolated act, but an attitude that should be cultivated in all aspects of your life. Being generous with your words, your actions, and your presence creates an energy of love and connection that binds you to others and to the divine. Through generosity, you can experience spiritual abundance in its purest form, unconditional love, and deep connection with life. The path to spiritual abundance also requires trusting the divine process. Often, you want to see immediate results and have complete control over your life, but true abundance comes when you learn to trust that everything is happening for a reason, even when you do not fully understand the purpose behind your experiences. Trusting the divine process is a surrender to what life presents you, knowing that each moment has a purpose and is guiding you toward your spiritual evolution. When you trust, you stop fighting against what you cannot change. You surrender to the flow of life and allow spiritual abundance to find you. This trust gives you a sense of peace and security, as you know that, no matter what happens, you are being guided toward what is best for you. Trust is the foundation that holds up all other spiritual practices, because without it, everything becomes a constant struggle. To cultivate this trust, it is important to reflect on your past experiences in which everything turned out well, even if you did not understand how. By looking back at those moments, you can begin to see how life always has a way of showing you the way when you are willing to follow it. Over time, you will learn to trust more deeply, knowing that spiritual abundance is always present, just waiting to be discovered. The path to spiritual abundance is a continuous process of growth, self-awareness, and connection with the divine. As you cultivate inner peace, gratitude, generosity, and trust, you align yourself with your true essence and with the flow of life that leads you toward greater abundance. This kind of abundance is not measured in material things, but in the quality of your relationships, the depth of your inner peace, and the expansion of your consciousness. Spiritual abundance is not something sought externally, but something cultivated within you. It is a state of being, a way of living that transforms everything you touch. And as you begin to walk this path of spiritual abundance, you discover that everything you need is already within you. There are still many lessons on the path to true abundance. What lessons can you learn about humility and detachment? Essential guidelines for building a positive mindset, one capable of both receiving and letting go. Lessons of humility and detachment. Humility and detachment are essential on your path to a richer and more meaningful spiritual life. These are two virtues that, though often overlooked in daily life, play a crucial role in your relationship with the world and yourself. In your quest for a deeper connection with the universe, these lessons become the foundation that allows you to transcend the superficiality of the material world and achieve lasting peace. Humility is one of the most important qualities you can cultivate, not only in your spiritual life, but also in your interactions with others. To be humble means to recognize your limitations, accept your imperfections, and above all, understand that you are not the center of the universe. Humility allows you to live without the weight of the ego, which constantly seeks recognition, power, or control over circumstances. In a world where you are taught to excel, to be the best, and to prove your worth through material achievements, humility is a lesson often overlooked. However, those who are humble understand that true worth is not found in what you own or in what others think of you. Rather than competing or comparing yourself with others, you learn to see the value in every human being, recognizing that you are all equal in the eyes of the divine. Humility also teaches you to be grateful for what you have. It takes you away from the constant desire for more, teaching you to enjoy the present moment and recognize that everything you need is available in the now. By practicing humility, you free yourself from the fear of lack and begin to live with a greater sense of inner peace. You realize that the world does not revolve around you and that you are part of something much greater. Detachment is one of the most powerful teachings that spirituality offers you. It is the process of freeing yourself from the need to possess material things, from depending on them for your happiness or identity. Living with detachment does not mean rejecting the material world or living a life of poverty, but rather learning not to cling to things and not allowing your happiness to depend on them. Detachment invites you to see material possessions for what they truly are, tools for your experience in this world, but not the ultimate goal. Material things, while they may provide comfort or temporary pleasure, cannot fill you in the way spiritual values such as love, peace, and gratitude do. One of the key lessons of detachment is that true happiness does not come from what you own, but from who you are. When you live trapped in the constant desire for more, you block your ability to experience the inner abundance that is already present in your life. Detachment teaches you to release control over outcomes and to live with the full trust that what you need will come at the right time, without clinging to the anxiety of more. This process of detachment also helps you free your mind and heart from external expectations. Often, you condition yourself to live by the standards society imposes on you: success, appearance, wealth accumulation, or constant comparison with others. Detachment allows you to free yourself from these pressures and connect with your true essence, understanding that life is not a competition, but a unique journey to discover your authenticity. Detachment is not only about material things, but also about emotions and past experiences. An essential part of this practice is learning to release resentments, pain, and experiences that bind you to the past. Many times, your negative emotions are based on attachments to what happened, which prevents you from moving forward and living in the present. Emotional detachment does not mean eliminating your emotions or becoming indifferent, but rather learning to observe them without identifying with them. It is being aware of your feelings without letting them control you. When you hold on to past experiences, whether good or bad, you remain tethered to a version of yourself that no longer exists. Emotional detachment allows you to release those burdens, and in doing so, opens you to new possibilities for growth and healing. This detachment teaches you to accept the impermanence of life. Experiences, both pleasant and painful, are part of your journey, but they do not define who you are. Through emotional detachment, you learn to live with the flow of life, knowing that everything passes and that in the end, everything has a greater purpose. By practicing detachment, you achieve greater inner peace. This is because you stop worrying about what you cannot control. When you cling to things, people, or experiences, you are, in some way, trying to control the uncontrollable, which only causes stress and anxiety. By releasing that control, you free yourself from external expectations and pressures, finding in their place a deep and constant peace. Detachment helps you accept circumstances as they are, without resistance. It teaches you that not everything has to be the way you imagine it for it to be good. Rather than forcing outcomes, you learn to trust in the natural flow of life, knowing that everything happens for a reason and that each moment, whether good or bad, has something to teach you. With detachment, you begin to see life as a gift, a constant flow of experiences and lessons. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you can receive what life has to offer with open arms. This space, free from emotional and material burdens, allows you to experience a peace that does not depend on external circumstances, but on your inner acceptance. Together, humility and detachment form a path of spiritual liberation. Humility teaches you to recognize that you are no more than others, that your worth is not measured by what you own, but by who you are. Detachment, in turn, teaches you to release what holds you back and to live with an open mind, ready to receive what life has to offer. Both virtues lead you to live a fuller, freer life, where you are not slaves to your possessions, emotions, or expectations. Rather than living trapped by constant desire, comparison, or the struggle for more, you learn to be happy with what you are and have, trusting that the true purpose of your existence is not in material goods, but in your spiritual evolution. The practice of humility and detachment opens you to a deeper love, an inner peace that does not depend on what you have, and a wisdom that you can only find when you let go of all that limits you. In this path of liberation, you find true wealth, peace, love, and connection with the divine. As you progress on your spiritual journey, you realize that adversity is not an obstacle, but an opportunity to strengthen your faith. It is in the darkest moments that your connection with the divine can grow deeper. True strength does not arise when everything is going well, but when you are challenged. The faith built during difficult times is the one that endures, guiding you through any storm. Now let's explore how adversity can be the key to strengthening your faith. God is using adversity to strengthen your faith, chosen one. Adversity, in its various forms, is one of the most challenging aspects of life, but also one of the most powerful for spiritual growth. While facing difficulties can be painful and overwhelming, it is in these moments when their faith is tested and has the opportunity to blossom. Life is full of trials, from losses and failures to illnesses and personal struggles, and it is precisely in these tough times when they have the chance to strengthen their relationship with the divine. On this journey, faith not only helps them endure the storm, but can also be the key that allows them to discover their true strength and purpose. Many see adversity as a burden, but if they shift their perspective, they can see how it becomes a spiritual teacher. Faith is not developed when everything is going well. It is in times of crisis when true spiritual strength is forged. Through adversity, they learn to let go of control and accept that life is unpredictable. In this context, faith is not just an abstract belief. It becomes a daily action, a constant practice that allows them to maintain hope even when they cannot see a clear way out. When they face difficulties, whether an unexpected illness, the loss of a loved one, or a financial crisis, their natural tendency is to seek answers or quick solutions. However, faith invites them to pause and reflect. It teaches them that although they may not always be able to control what happens around them, they can choose how they respond to these situations. Instead of seeing difficulties as punishments or insurmountable tests, they can see them as opportunities for spiritual growth, as lessons that will help them transform and draw closer to the divine. It is in times of suffering when they truly learn to trust that there is a purpose behind every trial, even if they do not understand it immediately. This trust gives them the strength to persevere, knowing that pain and struggle are guiding them towards a greater understanding and connection with the divine. Faith helps them stay calm in the middle of the storm, reminding them that, although life is uncertain, there is something greater that holds them up. In times of crisis, their faith acts as an anchor. When everything seems to collapse around them, when problems accumulate and they cannot see a way out, faith keeps them grounded. Just as an anchor keeps a ship steady in turbulent waters, their faith offers them emotional and spiritual stability when they face difficulties. It is easy to get lost in the chaos of daily life and worries about the future. However, when their faith is strong, they have the ability to stay focused on what really matters. Instead of succumbing to fear and anxiety, they learn to look beyond immediate circumstances and focus on what they can control, their attitude and their relationship with the divine. Through adversity, their faith becomes a constant source of strength. They know that no matter how difficult the circumstances, there is an inner light that guides them and gives them hope. A good example of this can be seen in many stories of spiritual figures throughout history. Many of the greatest spiritual leaders, such as Buddha, Jesus, or Mahatma Gandhi, went through moments of suffering and extreme trials. However, their faith in the divine never wavered. Instead of giving up in the face of adversity, they used those struggles to deepen their connection with their spiritual purpose and move forward with renewed determination. This is an important lesson. Adversity not only challenges them, but it can be the means to deepen their connection with the divine. Suffering can be painful, but it is also one of the most powerful teachers on the spiritual path. It teaches them lessons of humility, patience, compassion, and trust. Through pain, they are forced to question their beliefs and priorities. It invites them to look within themselves and ask what truly matters in life. Sometimes, only when they are in the midst of pain, do they realize that they have been focusing on things that are not essential to their spiritual well-being. Suffering also invites them to practice detachment, to let go of their expectations, and to accept what life gives them, even when it is not what they expected. It reminds them that the material world is fleeting and that their true wealth comes from their connection with the divine. This perspective helps them see pain as an opportunity for growth, rather than as a burden. By accepting suffering as part of the spiritual journey, they can find a deep inner peace, knowing that everything has a purpose. Faith not only helps them overcome difficulties, it has the power to transform them. Adversity, instead of weakening them, gives them the opportunity to become stronger and wiser versions of themselves. The faith that they develop in times of suffering is a transformative faith, one that changes them deeply, both inside and out. Through adversity, they learn to let go of control and trust in the divine flow of life. This trust allows them to see beyond the surface of their struggles and discover the hidden purpose behind every trial. As a result, their faith becomes deeper, more mature, and more solid. Adversity not only challenges them to be strong, but it helps them see that true strength is not in resistance, but in acceptance and surrender to the divine. Each difficulty they face becomes an opportunity to purify their faith, to shed the fears and doubts that limit them, and to draw closer to their spiritual essence. This transformation is a continuous process, leading them to live with greater peace, wisdom, and gratitude, even amid trials. One of the keys to strengthening their faith in times of adversity is trusting that there is always a divine purpose behind their trials. Although they may not always understand why certain things happen, they can trust that every experience is guiding them toward greater understanding and spiritual growth. Suffering is not without purpose. It has a deep reason behind it that will, in time, become clear. Instead of resisting adversity or questioning why it is happening to them, they can learn to see every challenge as a divine lesson. Each challenge takes them one step closer to their higher purpose, and by accepting this truth, their faith is strengthened. By trusting that everything has a purpose, even when they do not understand it right away, they find peace and comfort, knowing that they are not alone in their struggle. Often, when they are going through times of adversity, they feel like they are facing life alone. However, faith is strengthened not only in their relationship with the divine, but also in their connection with others. The spiritual community can be a fundamental source of support during difficult times. Group prayer, shared teachings, and the simple act of being together in times of suffering can be an immense source of strength and comfort. Additionally, the support of others who share their faith reminds them that they are not alone in their suffering. It helps them see that adversity is a natural part of life, and through unity and love, they can overcome any challenge. Faith is not only something personal, it is something collective. Mutual support during difficult times strengthens their faith and helps them grow together as a spiritual community. Strengthening faith through adversity is one of the deepest and most transformative lessons they can learn on their spiritual journey. Adversity challenges them, but it also offers them the opportunity to deepen their relationship with the divine, to transform and to grow in wisdom and understanding. By trusting that there is a divine purpose behind every trial, they can overcome any difficulty with faith, resilience, and inner peace. Transformation and personal growth. The journey of transformation and personal growth is one of the most profound experiences one can undertake in life. It is a process of evolving beyond personal limitations, shedding old patterns, beliefs, and fears, and stepping into a more authentic version of oneself. Transformation happens when one opens themselves to new possibilities, embraces change, and seeks a deeper connection with who they are at a soul level. It often begins when faced with discomfort, challenges, or moments of crisis, but its impact extends far beyond those initial difficulties. True growth emerges when one chooses to rise above external circumstances and evolve from within. At its core, transformation is about breaking free from what no longer serves. It requires courage to let go of old habits, beliefs, and identities that no longer align with one's true self. This process can be painful because it involves facing fears, insecurities, and limitations. However, it is through this discomfort that the opportunity for growth arises. When one resists change, it's easy to become stagnant, stuck in familiar patterns that no longer fulfill. But by embracing transformation, the door to infinite possibilities opens. The path of transformation is deeply connected to spiritual awakening. As one awakens to their true nature, they begin questioning societal constructs, beliefs instilled from early childhood, and superficial values. Transformation invites individuals to re-evaluate how they live, what they value, and how they want to show up in the world. It's not about seeking external validation or achieving material success. Rather, it's about discovering inner peace, clarity, and purpose. Transformation often begins with self-awareness. To grow, one must first become aware of where they are and where they want to go. Self-awareness means recognizing personal patterns, understanding what triggers certain reactions, and becoming conscious of the thoughts and beliefs that shape reality. When one becomes aware of behaviors and tendencies, they can consciously choose to shift them. Without this self-awareness, transformation becomes difficult because one cannot see what needs to change. Through self-awareness, one begins to recognize areas of life where fulfillment is lacking. Perhaps they've been living according to others' expectations, pursuing goals imposed by society, or neglecting true passions and desires. Self-awareness allows individuals to step back and evaluate their lives from a broader perspective. The questions arise: who am I? What brings me joy? What am I holding on to that no longer serves my highest good? When one becomes honest with themselves, the areas needing change become clear. This is the beginning of transformation, recognizing the need for growth and being willing to change. Often this involves confronting difficult emotions like fear, guilt, or sadness. But by doing so, one can begin releasing these emotions and create space for new experiences. As one moves through the process of transformation, resistance often arises. Change can be uncomfortable because it disrupts the familiar. Fear of losing what is known, relationships, security, or a sense of identity may emerge. But transformation isn't about abandoning who one is, it's about evolving into who they are meant to be. Resistance to change is a natural part of the human experience, but by leaning into it, growth is made possible. Growth often happens in small, subtle ways. It's not always an overnight transformation, but a continuous process of evolving. It might start with small shifts in mindset, new habits, or changes in perspective. Over time, these small shifts accumulate, leading to profound changes in how one sees themselves, their relationships, and the world. One key aspect of transformation is letting go of attachments, especially to outcomes, people, or material possessions. When one is attached to how things should be, growth becomes limited. Letting go doesn't mean becoming passive or abandoning desires. It's about surrendering to what life presents and trusting that change is part of the journey. By releasing attachment to outcomes, greater possibilities unfold. Transformation also involves cultivating a deeper sense of compassion and self-love. As one grows, they come to understand that self-growth isn't about becoming someone else, but about becoming more of who they truly are. It's about accepting oneself with all imperfections, recognizing that growth isn't about perfection, but ongoing development. Self-love allows individuals to treat themselves with kindness, forgive past mistakes, and embrace the journey, no matter how messy or challenging it may be. In addition to self-love, transformation encourages the development of spiritual practices that support growth. These practices might include meditation, mindfulness, prayer, or journaling. Through these practices, individuals create space to connect with inner wisdom and gain clarity about their purpose. Spiritual practices help align actions with intentions, keeping one grounded during moments of uncertainty and challenge. Moreover, transformation requires courage. It demands stepping outside one's comfort zone and embracing uncertainty. In many ways, growth isn't about achieving perfection, but about being willing to embrace discomfort, the unknown, and trusting that through discomfort, something greater is being created. Courage is essential for personal growth, as it allows risks to be taken, new paths explored, and lessons learned from failures. The path of transformation often includes periods of reflection and solitude. During these times, one has the opportunity to step away from external noise and distractions to go inward. Reflection helps evaluate one's current state and goals. It offers the chance to reflect on past experiences, identify lessons learned, and gain insights that shape the future. As one grows and transforms, they notice a shift in energy. Transformation leads to a deeper sense of peace and contentment. Instead of seeking external validation or gratification, fulfillment is found in simple, everyday experiences. There is profound joy in living authentically, aligned with values and purpose. Another important aspect of transformation is embracing vulnerability. By being vulnerable, one allows themselves to be seen in their full humanity, strengths and weaknesses alike. Vulnerability creates space for deeper connections with others and deeper self-acceptance. It serves as a reminder that all are on a journey of growth and that no one is perfect or immune to challenges. Through transformation, new perspectives are often encountered. One may begin to see life through the eyes of gratitude, recognizing beauty in the ordinary and the power of small, meaningful moments. Transformation helps shift focus from what is lacking to what is present. In conclusion, transformation and personal growth are not about changing who one is, but about becoming more of who one is at their core. It is a process of shedding what no longer serves, embracing change, and cultivating a deeper connection with oneself, others, and the divine. Through self-awareness, surrender, courage, and spiritual practices, individuals move beyond limitations and step into a life of purpose, authenticity, and joy. The journey of transformation is lifelong, inviting growth, learning, and evolution in ways that bring peace, meaning, and fulfillment. As one embarks on the spiritual journey of the chosen, they face a reality that, though challenging, is filled with purpose and profound lessons. The financial struggles, life's trials and adversities encountered are nothing more than the polishing of the soul. Uncomfortable, yet leading to a place of transformation, personal growth, and connection with the divine. Through every challenge, difficulties are seen not as insurmountable obstacles, but as divine opportunities to reflect on one's relationship with the material and spiritual. Scarcity, rather than a curse, becomes a powerful signal to reassess priorities, detach from what's unnecessary, and strengthen faith. This path teaches that true wealth lies not in material accumulation, but in inner growth, as one faces difficulties with courage, humility, and patience. The divine tests faced, though painful, have a greater purpose, to guide toward a more abundant life, not in material terms, but spiritually. They remind that true abundance is found in the ability to live with gratitude, wisdom, and love, regardless of external circumstances. Each difficult experience offers an invaluable lesson about true essence and invites a transformation of mindset toward a deeper, more transcendental view of life. The path to spiritual abundance is the true path to peace. As detachment from ego-driven expectations and desires occurs, one begins to recognize the abundance already within. Spirituality teaches that true wealth is not measured by possessions, but by being whole, human, and connected to an infinite source of love and wisdom. Detachment doesn't mean renouncing material things, but living with what is essential, trusting that needs will always be provided perfectly. Throughout this journey, faith becomes the backbone supporting everything. As adversity is faced, faith strengthens, not just in God, but also in oneself and the divine process. Adversity isn't the end, but the beginning of a new growth stage. The faith cultivated during tough times allows one to see beyond the visible and trust that each trial has a purpose in life's grand design. Ultimately, this process leads to profound transformation. From financial struggle to spiritual connection beyond money, every experience brings one closer to their true self. Through humility, detachment, and personal growth, it's discovered that challenges can be overcome as long as faith and purpose remain strong. This spiritual journey, though filled with ups and downs, is one of self-discovery and redemption. In the end, adversities are not punishments but gifts, allowing one to transform and grow beyond limitations. By walking with faith, humility, and gratitude, a connection to spiritual abundance emerges that sustains, guides, and fills one with peace. So if one finds themselves struggling, remember they are not alone. Every challenge has a divine purpose. Every trial is an opportunity for growth. And at the end of this journey, spiritual abundance will be the greatest reward. To conclude, let's bring a prayer to the Lord Jesus Christ. Dear Jesus, we ask for your blessing over all watching this video. May your light guide each of them on their path, especially during times of financial struggle. We ask for strength, wisdom, and peace, knowing your trials have a divine purpose. Thank you for being with them, always. Amen.